show for months to give you one of the songs to a backing track they've never heard.
Mine dips.
Feel that strong. Test. If you feel that strongly about that stand, you may have that stand. While you were gone, the week after you left me, I found a couple acres near Savannah Park. I had a house while you were gone, a house with silver shutters and a driveway laid in marble and thousands of rooms to fill, miles of space to fly. And I tried to believe it. It was better without you. I was safer alone. No, I'd give it all for you. I'd give it all for you by my side once more. Oh, I'd give it all for you. I'd give it all to hold you again, to feel I'm completed, to know there and then that all that I needed was you to fight the fear. And now you're here.
I took a trip while I was gone. I cashed in all my savings and bought an Eldorado. Drove to Tennessee. I took a trip while I was gone. I drove across the country and I stopped at lots of diners and stared at a million stars and thought I could touch the sky. And I tried to believe it. It was better without you. I was finally free. No, I'd give it all for you. I'd give it all for you by my side once more. Oh, I'd give it all for you. I'd give it 'cause the mountains I climb get higher and higher. I'm running from time and walking through fire, and dreams just don't come true. But now there's you.
God knows it's easy to hide from the things that you feel, and harder to blindly trust what you don't understand.
God knows it's easy to run from the people you love, and harder to stand and fight for the things you believe. Nothing about us was perfect or clear, but when paradise calls me, I'd rather be here. There's something between us that nobody else needs to see. There were oceans to cross,
There were mountains to conquer,
and I stood on the shore.
and I stood on the cliff, and the second before I jumped, I knew where I needed to be. Oh, I give it all for you. I give it all for you by my side once more. Oh,
I give it all for you.
I give it 'cause it's harder to touch the things that are dearer. I love you too much to trust something clearer. I know I fell too far, but
So now in our history of canceled shows, we've reached the point of the pandemic when things have started to open up again. And we prepared a production of The Fantastics. Thank you. That was supposed to happen in February, and then Omicron hit. So it was moved to May, and it actually happened. And we had an audience in the theater. And Charlie was not in the show, but he's still going to sing Try to Remember for us, to a backing track he's never heard before.
Test, test. Oh, we're good, we're good. Try to remember 2020, 2021, 2022. I'm a tenor, by the way, and this is a track for a bass, just to let you know. All right, let's do this. Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except a willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December. I think this is a little break. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Deep in December, it's nice. Thank you. To remember, although you know the snow will follow. Maybe up the octave. Deep in December, it's nice to remember without hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow. So those who are recording, maybe spare that one from social media. Just kidding.
Only use the good stuff, don't worry. So that was stuff that you either didn't get a chance to see or was so long ago that you've forgotten about, because who remembers what happened in 2020? But now, this coming September, we're back in the theater for our first full season in like 3 years. And we're super excited. As I hope I mentioned earlier, we are 1/3 of Theatre Scarborough. Scarborough Players and Scarborough Theatre Guild are other partners, and they're going to start the season off with a couple of plays. The first is Neil Simon's classic Jake's Women in September, which is about a 50-something writer coming to grips with his current marriage that's falling apart, while the many women in his life float in and out of the play, either in actuality or in his memory. You know it's going to be a comedy. Scarborough Players will be following that up in October with Norm Foster's Storm Warning, a classic Canadian playwright on a remote beach in September of 1953 in a storm as people are trapped in their cabin. So these are some great classic great plays. I haven't done this in a couple years either. These are a couple of great plays from classic playwrights we're going to kick off the season with. And then we're going to get into our first full musical of the season. It's a great one if you've got kids, good for all ages. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, based on the classic comic strip. And it's the revival version with that song you all know that Kristen Chenoweth made popular in the revival on Broadway. So let's bring Katie back to tell us about her new philosophy.
That's a good philosophy. Why are you telling me? Why are you telling me? Why are you telling me my new philosophy? The teacher gave a D on last week's homework. She said, Miss Sally Brown, your grades are going down. I could have told her.
New philosophy.
My new philosophy, Miss B, a G, look C, a D, a D. Well, why are you telling me? And that's my new philosophy.
That's your new philosophy.
Why are you telling me my new philosophy? That's great, Sally.
Oh, that's great, Sally. I need your script. I gotta go practice Chopin's Nocturne.
No! I like it. No! That's a good philosophy. No! No! No!
That's your new philosophy, huh?
Yes! I mean, no, just like a busy bee. Each new philosophy can fly from tree to tree and keep me moving. When life's a dizzy maze on alternating days, I choose a different phrase.
New philosophy.
My new philosophy.
Sally, some philosophies are simple. Man does not live by bread alone. Some philosophies are clear.
Leave your message at the sound of the tone.
Some philosophies pick and choose, deciding what goes in it. Some take a lifetime.
I take a minute.
Anyway, something that takes only a minute can't be very lasting. For instance, Beethoven took over 2 years to complete his brilliant Ninth Symphony.
No!
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it. I like it. It's like a guarantee. My new philosophy. And things are sure to be a whole lot brighter. Oh yeah, that's what you think. Why are you telling me? No, I can't stand it. Now life is free and easy. Much more philosophies with my brand new. You know, someone has said that we should live each day as if it were the last day of our life.
This is the last day. I've only got 24 hours left. It's the last day. Help me!
Clearly, some philosophies aren't for all people. And that's my new philosophy.
That's exciting. As you know, Charlie Brown is key to some of the classic interactions in life's history. There's Lucy and the football that she always pulls away from him. And there's that darn kite-eating tree that always eats his kite. So Charlie is going to sing for us again about the kite. Woo! That's okay. One second.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Little more rope, little more wind, little more hope. Gotta get this stupid kite to fly. Gotta make sure it doesn't snag, doesn't droop, doesn't drag. Gotta watch out for every little whoops. Little less speed, little more tack, little less rise, little more slack. Gotta keep my wits about me now. Gotta make sure it doesn't get the best of me till I get it in the air somehow. Millions of little kids do it every day. They make a kite and poof, it's in the sky. Leave it to me to have the one fool kite who likes to see a little kid cry. Little less talk, little more skill, little less luck, little more will. Gotta face this fella eye to eye. Now that I've seen you chasing moles, climbing trees, digging holes, catching your string on everything passing by, why not fly? Wait a minute. What's it doing? It isn't on the ground. It isn't in a tree. It's in the air. Look at that. It's caught the breeze now. It's past the trees now with room to spare. Oh, what a beautiful sight. And I'm not such a clumsy guy. If I really try, I can really fly a kite. Good grief!
Now, in addition to our main stage production of Your Good Man Charlie Brown that's going on in November, we have got a growing youth program led by, well, look at that, they're both out there in the audience, the wonderful Amanda Sinclair and Elizabeth Van Witt. They have been building this program for a number of years. We have had some of their members graduate from being in our youth program to being in our main stage productions. And this fall, concurrently with the run of Charlie Brown, we've been presenting I can say words, I can do it. I don't even need a pianist for this. We will be presenting a production of Legally Blonde Jr. And so to give you a little taste of that, we're going to bring up Kara and Karis and Brenna. I swear I can talk, I can do it. To do a song that is not actually a duet, to a backing track they've never heard before.
Seconds of silence, so do not panic. But can I just get like a thumbs up when it starts? Okay, thank you. You gotta count to 6. Yeah, I know, Karis. Elle, do you know the #1 reason behind all bad hair decisions? Love. You're lost without your love. Your heart is on the floor. I can help you, I've been there before. When I need to relax, I just put on some tracks from this CD I bought for the store. Isn't that relaxing? It's called Celtic Modes. When I'm lonely or feeling dejected, I play this and it never fails. I pretend like I'm in Ireland with Enya and the whales. When my telephone gets disconnected and I spend every night alone, I pretend like I'm in Ireland where the Irish bagpipes roll. People smile while I stroll past their farms with a red-headed sailor my cozy delusional fun. But he dumped me for some chick named Kayla, took my trailer and took my dog. In Ireland they know how to love you. You embrace in a misty Irish breeze. And if your Irish boy tires of you, you're allowed to shoot him in the knees. Hey, you look like that poster for Ireland. Long blonde hair and that sweet sunny face. Oh, no wait, that's the poster for Sweden. Screw it, I'll never see your face. A girl sweet as you has a future. You have hope as each new day dawns. Girls like you always get to see Ireland. Give my love to the leprechauns.
So in December, we'll move on to a play from Scarborough Theatre Guild called The Christmas Spirit, a good festive piece about a woman named Julia who gets a mysterious visitor on Christmas Eve. Except it's not Santa Claus, it's Death, to let her know that it's her last day. And she does what anyone would do in that situation. She gets an extra 24 hours by inviting him to the family dinner the next day. So it's going to be an interesting outing. I'm looking forward to that one. That was one of the canceled shows from our last COVID season, and following that is another of the canceled shows. The plays don't have to deal with Eddie Redmayne being afraid of ticket sales. Scarborough players will be doing an Inspector Calls about a family in World War II who's having a successful family dinner until a police inspector comes to investigate a recent suicide that may or may not involve members of the family. We're going to follow that in February with another musical. It's based on a movie that you may have heard of. The movie starred Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep. It is one of Meryl Streep's 21 Academy Award nominations. Not one of her wins, but that's okay. It is The Bridges in Madison County, set to amazing music by Jason Robert Brown. You've already heard a bit of his stuff in the Songs for a New World piece earlier. So let's bring Olivia up to sing To Build a Home, for which I understand there is not a backing track. So this will be an a cappella performance.
Is the mic on? Yeah. It just so happens that this is probably the only song that might be appropriate for an a cappella performance. One of my favorite videos is Kelly O'Hara singing this for a master class. But how many people are moms here in the audience today? And how many people are immigrants to Canada, like myself? Yeah. So this is very much a story, and Francesca begins, and you can imagine the swelling of the strings, the cello. She's alone on stage, empty, and she's describing her life and beginning in America.
There's a boat that leaves for Napoli every Thursday in the morning, and a nervous bride can share a bed with a soldier from the States. For a week the ocean carries them over lost and churning water, and they land in New York Harbor, then to Pennsylvania Station, where they board a train that slices like a scythe through the fields of America. This is Albany, this is Buffalo, this is Cleveland, this is South Bend, this is Chicago, this is Osceola Station, where a truck will take them deeper into Iowa, to years, waiting to be tamed. And blade of grass by blade of grass, and ear of corn by ear of corn, and bale of hay by day, they build themselves a home. And day by day, and year by year, from boy to man, from calf to steer, what's lost from there may not grow here, but comes the sun. Look what they've done. They've built themselves a home. At 21, a girl begins to grasp the world and how it spins. She grabs a box of safety pins and builds herself a home. And home is safe and home is fair. The porch, the bath, the kitchen chair, the sharp and unfamiliar air that blow by blow she comes to know, and build herself a home with a son and a daughter, and 1,000,000 miles between the fire she used to set, the heart she used to break, the lies she used to tell, and the woman she grew up to be. I learned to speak, I learned to sow, I learned to let the longing go. The tractor wheel, a foot of snow, I build myself a home. I change my words, I change my name. The house goes north, the horse goes lame. The county fair, the football game. For 18 years, it stays the same. For 18 years, I'm glad I came and built myself a home.
Just take it and use it, and then we'll fix it. All right, Bridges of Madison County is, of course, at its heart, a love story. And so how could we talk about a love story without a duet? So we'll have Katie and Charlie back to sing Falling Into You with a backing track they've never heard before. You're sensing a theme there, right? Sorry, Mike Ford.
What was I saying before about being lost? The thing is, I knew where I was, but not where I was going. Why did I walk those mountains? Why did I ride those ships? Why did I watch those horses running wild? Now I know. Circling in the sky.
here. Don't give it a name. We must introduce it to something clear or simple. I want to believe that we are the first people on earth to know this feeling, to know this moment, to cross this line.
Adding up all those minutes, staring through all I saw, how could I know the answer would be you?
How could I know the answer would
Only
be
you. Only you. All my life I have been falling. I have been falling into you, Francesca. This is where I land. You are what I've looked for. Now is what is true. All my life I have been falling into
Thank you. So after Bridges, we're going to come back with a couple more plays coming up. Most of the audience looks like you are probably, like me, old enough to remember when Stephen Truscott and his case were in the news. And the play is Innocence Lost. It is a riveting examination of that entire process about the case that eventually caused incredible changes in the Canadian justice system. So it's going to be a fantastic and compelling piece of theatre. Speaking of fantastic, compelling pieces of theatre, that will be followed by Scarborough Players, doing a show based on an internationally best-selling novel that won 7 Olivier Awards, 5 Tony Awards, including Best Play. It was in the Mirvish season in 2017 when it was last in Toronto. It is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, an amazing show about a mathematically gifted 15-year-old boy who is perhaps less prepared for social interactions and has never even ventured beyond the end of his road. But when he decides he must solve the mystery of a dog that is killed on his street, it takes him on a frightening journey that upturns his world and will keep the audiences guessing until the very end. We're going to follow that back to the musicals with a show that you're probably all familiar with by Stephen Schwartz, who brought us Wicked later in his career. It is Godspell, based on the Gospel of St. Matthew, a fun vaudeville take on the Gospel. We're going to bring back Brenna and Karis, whose names I'm going to say correctly this time, who are not going to sing Learn Your Lessons Well, as it says on my note page. They're going to sing All for the Best. To a backing track they've never heard.
So scared. Okay. So that's good.
When you feel sad or under a curse, your life is bad, your prospects are worse, your wife is sighing, crying, and your olive tree is dying, and temples are graying and teeth are decaying and creditors weighing your purse. Your mood and your rope are both the deep blue. You'd bet that Joe had nothing on you. Don't forget that when you get to
Betty's doing what they
or
please,
under
riches
a
and the movies are in
curse.
money.
Your life is bad.
Never growing old, never feeling
Your
old,
prospects
only
are
what's
worse.
from thin air.
Your wife
Well,
is
best in every
sighing,
town, best in shaking down, best in making
and
mountains
for
of
all the
money.
trees dying, devils are great and teeth are decaying and predators weighing your purse.
They get the
Your
center of
robe
the moods, cushions on the
are
seats, houses on the streets where it's sunny.
Get that
Summers
joke
at the sea, winters warm and free,
and
all of this
nothing
and
on
we
you.
get the rest.
Don't forget
But
that
here
when
is the
you
land
get
for
to
the sun
heaven,
and the
you'll be
sea.
blessed. Yes, it's all for the best.
Some men are born on Betty's, doing what they please,
Or under
riches and
a
the movies are in
curse.
money.
Your life is bad.
Growing old, never feeling
Your
old, only
prospects are
something
worse.
from thin air.
Your wife is
Best in every
sighing,
town, best in shaking down, best in making
and
mountains
for all
of
the
money.
trees dying,
They
devils are great and teeth are decaying and predators weighing your purse.
They get the
Your
center of the
robe
moods, cushions on the
are
seats, houses on the streets where it's sunny.
Get that
Summers
joke
at the sea, winters warm and
and
free, all of
nothing
this
on
and we
you.
get the rest.
Don't forget that when you get to heaven, you'll be blessed. Yes, it's all for the. You must never be distressed. Yes, it's all for the. All your wrongs will be redressed. Yes,